a very funny man coming to the stage. You're going to love him. Give it up for Darby Eulinger, everybody. Darby Eulinger.
Thank you, sir. How's everybody doing this evening? I have to tell you, I'm pretty excited. We are 2 months out from the greatest holiday of them all, St. Patrick's Day, right? St. Patrick's Day is the only holiday where everybody wakes up, no matter what race, color, or creed, and goes, you know what? I'm getting drunk today. And think about it. There's no other holiday out there with that level of commitment, you know? We don't all wake up on Secretary's Day and go, you know what? I'm going to blow the boss today. I know that joke wasn't very politically correct. I probably should have said administrative assistant, but that's how I do things. So I am Irish. I do like to drink, come from a hard drinking Irish family. I don't have uncles, I have drunkles. Let me put it in this perspective. Interventions in my family are BYOB. When I was a kid, I thought we were religious. Turns out we went to church because it's the only place you can get a drink before noon on Sundays. I like to drink a little bit myself. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm sure some of you out there have drank to the point where your friends won't give you your car keys back. I've drank to the point where my friends won't give me my shoes back. My buddy's like, Darby, look, I know you live across the hall, but you're not walking anywhere tonight. I actually drank so much once I had to have my stomach pumped. Doctor retrieved the Louisiana license plate that remains of the missing Kittner boy. If you don't get that joke, go home and watch Jaws. But I did most of my hard partying as a bachelor, you know, and I had a really good time. And I did pretty much everything I wanted to do as a bachelor except for one thing. Always wanted to hook up with an Asian girl. Closest I got was an Irish girl with jaundice. I probably should have known when she told me her name was Ali O'Malley and could pronounce it properly. But I did enjoy my bachelorhood, but still there's times, you know, when you long for that relationship, that companionship, you know, that day-to-day in and out, having somebody there. So I used to do things to make myself feel like I was in a relationship. Like sometimes I'd just come home and start rooting through my shit to see if I was cheating on myself, you know? Sometimes when the big game was on Sundays, I'd drag myself to a craft fair just to browse. You know? When I was really lonely, I used to just shave one leg. Then I'd lay in bed at night and rub it against my other leg. And get frisky with myself. But those days are over. I did get married last year. People do it every day, you know. I got married to a special ed kindergarten teacher, so for her it was pretty much a lateral move. We had a great ceremony. We went to Puerto Rico for our honeymoon. Anybody who's ever been there knows it's a lot like New York, but with less Puerto Ricans. But I have one pet peeve with my wife. She says I'm lazy. I don't know if I'm lazy. I think I'm creative, you know? Like I gave the pizza delivery guy key to the apartment. If you're gonna show up, you might as well follow through, you know? Sometimes when I don't even want a pizza, I just order one so I can have him grab the mail on the way in. Even when I was a kid, I used to leave spike strips out for the ice cream truck. You're not going anywhere, buddy. No, if I want to be lazy, I like to hang out and watch movies. And it's funny, I don't know if anybody here will watching HBO lately. E.T. has been on. Everybody knows E.T. And, you know, I was watching the movie and I'm starting to think, now here's an alien that traveled 2 million light years. He spent, what, maybe 6 weeks in Southern California? And at the end of the movie, not only did he go home, but he could speak English. Speaking of Mexicans, has anybody noticed that we've dehumanized Mexicans in this country to the point where they're no longer people, but rather units of measure? It's a true story. called up a landscape contractor recently, and I told him I had an acre of property I need taken care of. He goes, an acre of property? I'm going to send over 2 Mexicans. They'll be able to knock it out in a couple hours. I know, right? I want to know how he came up with this number. I'm no Meximatician, but I was curious. So I took 1 acre of property. I divided it by 2 Mexicans. I used long division. I carried the 1, and sure as shit, it worked out to 2 hours. Now, I love Mexicans, love Mexican food. Actually, I should say I love Italian food, but we all know who's back there cooking, don't we? But I don't get to eat it as much as I used to. I've actually lost 165 pounds since last January. I appreciate it. It's not all it's cracked up to be. People, I can see my penis again. And the only thing huge is the disappointment. It's not good. I actually had bypass surgery to lose the weight. And I knew the risks involved going into it. I knew, I didn't take it lightly. I mean, do you know how many people lost their jobs because of me in the fast food industry? Seriously, the day I showed up for my surgery, 200 minimum wage workers in latex gloves and hairnets were there protesting. Felt like a scab crossing the line, but instead of a giant blow-up rat, they had a giant blow-up cheeseburger. I'll never forget when I went and met with my doctor. He sat me down, he looked me in the eyes, and he goes, Darby, I'm just going to be honest with you. You're the classic example of a textbook overeater. He was right. I literally used to eat textbooks if there was nothing else around the house. Guys, that's my time. My name's Darby. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Darby Eulinger, everybody. Give it up.